This movie felt to me like The Odd Couple in space. What's up, everybody? So, this is my review of Project Hail Mary, written by Drew Goddard, directed by Lord and Miller, and starring Ryan Gosling. Now, let me just preface everything by saying I love everything that Lord and Miller does, and I love the fact that Ryan Gosling is in this movie. It was just a perfect marriage in so many different ways. The premise of this movie is basically the sun is dying, and Ryan Gosling is tasked with a bunch of other people to travel to a far off place to figure out what is happening. And then once they collect that information, they send it back to Earth, and then they can hopefully solve whatever the problem is. On the way there, the only one that survives is Ryan Gosling. And when he gets there, he doesn't remember what's happening, why he's there, where he is. And then slowly, he starts to understand. And then we kind of get some more context through flashbacks. In that journey, he's met by a rock alien that he names Rocky. This is all in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. And they develop this relationship that I think is it's just perfect. Everything from how they learn to communicate with each other, from how they interact with each other throughout the story. Everything is just so well done, with just the right amount of humor, with just the right amount of earnestness and seriousness. It's just a great balance overall. Even in movie making aspects, special effects with practical effects. Apparently, Rocky is completely just a practical effects puppet. The special effects, as far as whether it's green screen or CGI, I'm not really sure. But the point is, nothing as far as the special effects is concerned looks so bad that it's noticeable. You're just immersed in that world and in the story, and that's kind of I think one of the main strengths of this movie is the movie making aspect of it, and where you don't take yourself out of it so much. But what is definitely the anchor that makes this movie work is just the relationship between Ryan Gosling's character and Rocky. I remember thinking, though, when they first meet and they're trying to figure each other out, it was almost like a comedy version of Arrival, the Denis Villeneuve movie with Amy Adams that came out probably like 10 plus years ago at this point. But there are echoes of that I remember, but it was handled in a way that is unique to this story, unique to these characters. And I love that back and forth, that it's not a, such a life or death, world ending, possibly, way to figure out, okay, how are we going to talk to each other? So I thought that was great. I also liked how, as far as like the cinematography is great, the lighting is great. It's nothing that feels like they're overcompensating for something so that you have to see every little piece of detail in the shot. I liked that aspect of mystery that happens, where it's like there's a lot of darkness behind Ryan Gosling, and really like you see him and then you see a couple of other things, but it's not perfectly lit. So there's almost like this old school, classic, dramatic, cinematic look to it that I really liked. And also, just from a storytelling standpoint, this was just masterfully done. I haven't read the book, but if it's anywhere as good as the movie, I'm definitely reading it. And you can kind of tell when things were maybe truncated a little bit, but again, it's still cinematic. It still serves the story. And the fact that it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, if they had to truncate things, I'm all for it. Because if they just needed to add in a lot of things so that it unfolds in the same way as the book, then this might be like the 4-hour epic, So I think what they did worked for the movie genre, the medium itself, And also, this is kind of a personal aspect of it as well, because I can be notoriously petty in everyday life, and one of the things that really struck me about the fact that Lord and Miller made this movie is it's another almost like little jab at the powers that be at Lucasfilm, because I don't know how many of you guys know this, but back in the day, they were the ones that were going to direct the Han Solo movie. They were filming it. They filmed, I think, probably 60-70% of the movie. They showed what they were doing to the powers that be at Lucasfilm, and then they were summarily cut out of the movie. And then they had to rewrite the script, bring a new director, and then we got what we got with the Solo movie. But then after that, I believe they did Lego. They did the two Spider-Verse movies, which are all three are awesome. And now they're doing Project Hail Mary. So every success they have, which they've had a bunch, to me is a nice little jab at like, this is the mistake that you made by firing us. We could have made something great for you guys, but we're still going to make things great because we are great filmmakers. And I'm so happy for them for this. And I look forward to what they do in the future because they really are just an incredible directing team and they know how to tell a story. And I haven't read the book of Project Hail Mary, but I have seen what it looks like. It's a bit of a brick. So if you can take something that detailed and dense and long story arc and then make it into what they made it, bravo. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What about you guys? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.